All your dreams are coming true.
No, I have better dreams.
Okay, forward. Try this again. Yeah.
This is called the polar haircut.
Because he's gonna jump in the water afterwards.
He's gonna have to.
You can't really tell on video, but there's a bit of a hill here, and it kind of flattens out, and then there's a hill going down that way and coming up this way. So for a long wheelbase van like ours to kind of maneuver, basically make a U-turn here so we can face the front this way driving out, it's gonna be a little tricky. And this morning, actually just now, we realized when we got water yesterday, we didn't empty our gray because at the gas station it distinctly said no dumping of wastewater, so we abide by the rule, didn't dump our wastewater. However, we forgot to do it somewhere else, which means last night's dinner, this morning's breakfast, all the tooth washing created a lot of wastewater, and we found a puddle of water underneath the kids' seats because the car is kind of sloping forward like this. So I don't know exactly how much water came out of the vent port of the gray tank, but a little bit. That's the kind of thing I worry about with our water system, is we can't hold that much gray. We can hold 7 gallons of gray, but usually 99% of the time we do a pretty good job of emptying it, especially since that's the first jug that has to come out. We can open the cabinet, just kind of feel for the weight, see how much water is in there, because it's opaque and you can't see through. You know, one of the things that we were hoping to do is drill a hole through the floor of the van and have the option of draining straight out through the floor, but I'm actually okay that we didn't end up doing that because there's no extra holes in the floor in the van for no reason. As it is now, I guess the solution would be, I did put a valve on the drain before it goes in to the 7-gallon jug. We just have to remember that if it's time to empty the gray, close the valve so that if we try to put more water into the drain, it'll just back up in the pipe up to the sink. And that'll keep us from forgetting. Note to self, don't fill up the gray tank. Oh, it looks good in the back, Mama.
Can I just snip you afterwards?
Yeah.
You want to snip the top?
You're gonna cut the front?
The whole thing?
No, I'm just gonna, you want me to cut it?
Like this.
This is a little bit of a
I'm trying to figure it out.
long thing happening.
He said he wants his bangs like...
No, this is too long
like
in the
that.
front.
Can we do...
So I use an 8 to cut the rest?
Like a
No.
shorter?
What do you think?
I'll cut it with scissors.
Good. But
Yeah?
I'm really itchy.
You gotta go jump in the water. Oh, there's a long strip right here.
Look, I'll jump in the water with you after I cut my hair.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, can you go in your underwear?
Fine.
Thanks.
You going swimming? Well, go to the right. Go away from it. You're gonna use a bottle, rinse him?
Now he did the polar plunge too.
Yeah.
I did it now.
Oh yeah. He didn't do the polar plunge last time. This is his first, actually. Oh, it's like a maraca.
Can you like do this?
Oh. Yeah, it's under the sole. we had no problems getting out of that wild camping spot. And now that I'm on paved road, steering seems to be fine. I think tripoding for 5 to 10 seconds is within the limits of this van.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good campsite. A little hard to get to. Nice to be by the beach and by this little sand spit with the little islands. But I don't know if it was worth risking somebody with a big vehicle to get out there. We're probably at the upper limit. And if we were a little bit shorter wheelbase, it would be even better. And because we had to turn around where we were, like we had to put in 4-wheel drive. It's one of these times where I'm glad we have 4-wheel drive, because we probably would have made it in and out without 4-wheel drive as long as we had good tires, but this made it painless. This made it just like driving in and out of any old small narrow road. Turning around was easy. So we don't know where we're going next. We have an idea. There's this hike that we originally wanted to go do, but I'm not sure if we're gonna do it, but we're gonna at least drive near it. But for now, we're gonna try to go to the next town, top off our water, and try not to overfill the brake. We're at a gas station to fill up some water, or just to top off our water. And surprisingly, we didn't know this before we came to Scandinavia, our go-to gas station for this kind of stuff is Circle K. So apparently Circle K, now owned by, or maybe it was always owned by a Canadian company, bought up a chain of Scandinavian and Baltic fuel stations and convenience stores, and they just recently rebranded them everything Circle K. So every time we see a Circle K, we try to get our water here, because usually it's been pretty good. The only thing that's similar about this Circle K to the ones in the US and Canada is the name. That's it. It just rebranded convenience store gas station chain. All right, we're going on a ferry in the next 15 minutes. It takes off. We got it here just on time. First Norwegian ferry. We haven't been on the ferry since when we got to Stockholm. Yeah, so this is new. Ferry's here. People are lined up, and then we went to go see how to buy a ticket, and they say you just buy it once you're on the boat. So maybe this is how they keep things efficient. And I don't think it's a very long ferry either, but we're going to an island, one of the islands. So it doesn't look like a very big boat. It's actually about almost midnight, and we're here in the what's called the Lyngen Alps, or the Lyngen Alps. It's not quite an island, but we did have to take a ferry to get here. The ferry was quite expensive. It just because it shaved like 2 hours off of our drive, but I may not have minded to take the drive. But it was really nice to kind of drive through the area that we drove through, which is totally different landscape now than where we've been for the last week or so. Now there are tall mountains, glaciers, and I think there's going to be more stuff like this as we start to head south. And we're just at a side of the road sort of overnight camp spot. It's actually pretty amazing. The road is literally right there, but we just turned off, and then there's kind of slopey road, but there's plenty of rocks that we can use to level ourselves, so we're pretty level. We're finally seeing this really green blue glacial water that we haven't seen up north because there were no glaciers. You know, I'm sure there's snow, but there were no like tall mountains like this. On the way here, it was unbelievable how many glaciers and how beautiful those glaciers were that we saw. So I'm really excited about the sort of northern and then central and then southern part of Norway that's along the coastline. Yeah, there's a lot more cool Norwegian stuff to come. And that's all we got today. We're continuing to explore Norway. Thanks again for following along, and I hope you're enjoying these daily vlogs. I will try to bring you guys more and more cool stuff to see. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up if you think this video is cool. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video.